Hey everybody, it's Jamie Baker Orr. So we're starting our day with our morning meeting. So we meet with all of our admin staff as well as our social media specialists and go over what's preparing for the day and what happened yesterday so that we're all on the same page. Yesterday was a very busy day.
I was going to start with listings this week, photos set up, tours if they're scheduled, that kind of stuff.
So I don't know how many tours that are scheduled, but photos today at Justin's and then at Ladonia, and then tomorrow we have Bison, and then Friday we have Alciello.
That one's going to be hard.
So I need to get that listing done.
I'm doing it, Jamie.
Okay.
I'll tell you when it started.
And then we'll have another listing, Fordham Circle, tomorrow. So we're going to go out and take the photos today and the measurements and everything.
And we have offers on Cornell,
which I sent the updated one to Dan this morning. I just haven't had time to call him in between.
and then new under contract this week, Lorraine.
Okay, so we had 4 yesterday.
And then Cornell will probably go under this morning.
Goings on with under contract, like what's going on with her?
We are going to get a co-signer on there, her parents. So Will said that he's going to try and still keep our original closing date. And then our appraisal came in low on Denver by $4,000. So I sent that to Jay already with the appraisal. And then we are at value on Clover.
I probably told her, but she already knew.
Yeah, she texted me.
Oh.
McClellan, they're going to get a second quote on the sewer line because our first quote was over $12,000. And he's not going to do that on that small of a house. There's just not enough money in it to do that.
And then the roof and electrical on Scranton, he should be getting that to us probably today.
Yep, the roof is good. It just needs a couple minor repairs he's going to do. And then the electrical's going to get fixed too. Bud's supposed to be sending us a bid. All right.
We're doing good.
Okay, well, you guys have a fabulous day. Thank you. Bye. So everybody had a lot of information. We went over multiple offers this morning, sent a final offer to a seller who approved that. We did 3 inspection resolutions sent over to the seller for signatures. And then we are headed now to a listing appointment. We'll come back. We got to go over some market analysis and do actually I'll probably do the market analysis that we're doing on this listing today because they want to get it listed tomorrow. And then we're going to go out for an inspection later today. And then we're going to finish up the day with showing one of our clients another home.
Good afternoon.
Hey, how are you?
Did you accidentally call?
Of course not. I've just been busy. You little stinker. You wait till I see you the next time.
You're supposed to be busy.
I am slammed.
I watch your YouTube videos and you're always on the phone and you start at 7 a.m. and you don't finish till like 9 p.m.
Yep, that's most days in the summer for sure. That has been definitely our schedule lately. Yesterday, the week looked pretty good. I had some time in the office, and yesterday we got 6 new listing appointments. So my whole week is booked now.
I'm jealous.
Well, it's a blessing and a curse. Just remember that. So enjoy your time now, and then
No, I don't disagree. I mean, you just gotta leverage your time. Give away a lot of work.
Yeah.
It's an easy task, but especially when you don't think anybody's gonna do it better than you.
Do they? No, I'm kidding. Yes, that's one of my problems.
It's one of all of our problems.
Right.
I'm not gonna send an average agent in to close a deal that I need or I want.
Right.
I'm gonna go, and then that's a problem because, I mean, if that's the case, then I go in on everything, and then of course I got to give all the other work away so I can just focus on that only. But most of us struggle with that, which I totally get. So don't worry, you're no different than a lot of the other successful people in this world.
That's correct. Yes. How have you been?
Yes, ma'am. Oh, I'm all right. I'm working through it. I'm trying to develop the business model.
Good.
Some people want to listen, some people don't.
Right.
And, you can. And you just keep on rolling forward.
Keep on keeping on.
Yes, ma'am. I was calling you. Gosh, it was early this morning. I knew you'd be up. I knew you'd be working already, but I'm trying to...
I was already on the phone going over an offer with a client.
I
think that's it. Oh, super nice house. It's pretty big. That's like, for the year it was built, that's like Taj Mahal right there. Did you see walk-in closets? Like in 1987, that wasn't something you saw a lot of. So this is, and it being all brick and brick front and the wood. And it looks like it has a new composition roof too. But to have those big old closets like that, the skylights bring a lot of natural light. So we're headed to an inspection for one of our clients. It's a back-to-back closing, so hopefully everything goes good here. Her property is ready to close, so we're anxious to see. I'm sure that it's going to be actually pretty clean because all the major things have already been replaced or done. So hopefully this is good news today, and we're moving towards another closing. Hey lady, how are you? Good. So I sent you and Nathan an email earlier this morning. I guess the inspector was at the house, and he's saying that the ejector pit isn't ejecting, and he doesn't know if we have an issue with a septic. He said it sounded like the ejector pit was running, but it's still holding water. So now, he is an inspector, not a licensed plumber. I'll start there. So I don't know if Nathan ever called to have the septic clean and inspected. Do you know? So I sent him the same email that I sent you today, but we need to get on it right away, because if we do have an issue, it has to be finished before we can close. And a lot of these guys are booked out quite a long ways.
There. In the very basement, be on the west side, if you open this door, your water main is in there. So this is your main water shuttle for the house. So you know where it's at.
Oh,
Your water heater was put in 2000, well, the NC date on it was 2017, so it's less than 3 years old. So, and it works fine. And this is just your NC date right here, which is when they approved the design. It won't be older than that. It's probably even a little bit newer than that. Okay. This is just where your coolant line runs into the furnace, or the AC coils above the furnace. I just recommend to insulate this, because when you get humidity in the house, you can build condensation on here and it'll drip on the furnace. So I just recommend to insulate that little bit. That's it.
cool. Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah, no.
Jami.
How are you? I know I read your text. I'm like, oh. So I don't know. So it came in low, but the appraiser didn't give it any credit for the granite, no credit for the deck, like the composition deck, the windows. There was something else. Oh, all of the LVT flooring. So her comparables were similar in size, but not in quality. Nope. So what will happen is the underwriter's going to look at it, and then they're going to decide if it should go back to the appraiser for them to reevaluate it. If she reevaluates it and comes back with a credit, which honestly, most of the time they don't change their number. So, yep. But, you know, the granite is a huge thing. I mean, that kitchen is, everything's brand new, and everything she compared it to was not brand new. So there wasn't really an adjustment in there for the upgrade. So hopefully, we're only talking $5,000. Oh no. Yeah, we're not. We're just gonna wait it out and see what happens. Hopefully they won't let the deal fall of it. But if we contest it and they won't change their number, then we'll just have to figure out what we can do to make it win-win. So, I'm not telling you got to pay for it by any means, but I didn't want, because they were ready to terminate. They're just like, and I'm like, contest the appraisal. Like, so contest the appraisal. Yeah, exactly. And that's, no freaking out. We're going to be fine. Well, they were just like, it's low. Like they didn't feel that the appraisal was justified. And when you look at the appraisal, there was a lot of things that she didn't even give them credit for. Well, what you do is you do an adjustment to the comparable. So if it has granite, which is superior to Formica, which all of the other ones had, then you give the comparables an adjustment up to bring it up to granite value. That's how you adjust value and prices. So what we're trying to do is get her to reevaluate the appraisal, not have you bring the $5,000 to cash. Now, if she says, no, I think my number's correct, then we have to say, okay, what are we gonna do? So are we gonna split it? And I think, I think there's a win-win. I don't think they want to terminate and start all over again. And of course, we don't want you to terminate and start all over again. So, oh no. So assessed value and appraised value are two different things. So assessed value is tax value. I know. So assessed value is what you're taxed at. Appraised value is value of the property. So every time somebody gets a loan, you're gonna have appraised value. So assessed value really doesn't come into play. So let me explain closing costs. So closing costs are the costs that it takes you to get a loan. So that's your insurance, your lender fee. So they are your fees. So yeah. So when we say seller's closing costs, that's asking the seller for what we call concessions, meaning will they pay for your closing? Right. So those are your costs regardless. So in a multiple offer situation, sellers won't pay them because they don't have any reason to, because they have multiple offers. Right. So it's your costs. So when we say closing costs, those are your costs to close your loan to buy a house. So you're going to have those on any house. Then as far as appraised value, now we're $5,000 short of our contract price. So now if we could get the appraiser to reconsider their value, because there are a lot of things that they missed and they come up in value, we're going to be fine. If they don't come up in value, let's say she comes up $2,000 and we're $3,000 short. Maybe we could get the sellers to split it with us, right? Correct. You got it. And I think too, the septic threw them a little off. They are fixing everything. And I know that septic system wasn't cheap, but we have a right to do our due diligence. And they're reasonable people. I mean, even if you look at the inspection, I think, the way that they worded it and stuff was making sure that it was all done correctly. So don't freak out. It's just a process. Yes. I'm hoping tomorrow, I hope that the lender looks at it and gets it over to their underwriting, and then they see, that she missed quite a few things. Don't worry, I got your back. We're going to work through this. You're welcome. Call anytime. You're welcome. All right. Hopefully I'll talk to you tomorrow. Okay. Take care. You're welcome. Bye-bye.
If I buy this, you have to tell me what I need to start getting done for this house to
Okay. You make this decision first, and I'll go do whatever you want me to do.
Well, you had to,
She's looking for me to tell her what to do, and
Yes.
I can't. Like, that's not my place. My place is to be her support. And then that way, she can make the decision, thinking the pros and cons. I told her, write a list. My only concern is her house is amazing, but the yard is humongous. Like when she says yard work, nobody, like when people say just hire somebody, yeah, for a yard this size, that's easy. For a yard her size, it's not easy.
How big is it?
It's big. It's
like an acre?
It's probably as big as our house. Like our yard.
That's a lot of yard.
The front and the back and the weeds and the rock, and then she has all these really beautiful mature trees. So we just left our second showing with our little Miss Betty, and she's gonna think on it overnight, so hopefully we'll know something tomorrow. And then we're headed back to the office to do an inspection, a resolution on one of our properties. We're representing the seller, so we have to respond to the objection tonight. Today's our deadline. And then I have to write an inspection objection for the last buyer that we just went and viewed that property. So probably it's 6:07, and I probably have at least an hour's worth of work to do. And then I'll